Hello guys, this is a review of the movie Heartstone. Heartstone is one of the most realistic films I've ever watched in my entire life, with the most beautiful scenery you could ever imagine, and it's real. This movie was shot in Iceland, and you can't really see it. You could just see like the sunset, but it has beautiful mountains, lakes, this foggy atmosphere, clouds, and even snow. It's just another world out there. So breathtaking. You have to watch it if you haven't seen anything from Iceland. Oof. Well, this movie follows the story of Thor and Christian right here. They're very good friends. They're also friends with Hannah and Beth right there. Hope you could see them. And Thor and Christian are like preteens, teens. They're spending their summer in their small fishing village in Iceland, like I said earlier. This film, first of all, I have to get this out of the way. It doesn't really feel like you're watching a film until much later, because really, I grew up in Mexico. I always say that, and then, most of my childhood, and then here in the States for the remainder of my days that have not come to a stop. And I could identify with it so much. It just feels as if somehow they like stuck a little camera in my forehead and just recorded everything that I went through. Not necessarily because I lived every single situation exactly or engaged in the same type of dialogue word for word, but just the feeling, the feeling of being a young guy and just turning into a man, and the insecurities, the fears, and the laughs, the fun, the joy, like everything together. They, like I said, they just start hanging out with like other friends. That's how the movie starts. They catch some fish, and slowly but surely there are like very weird clues throughout the film. So this is gonna sound confusing, but just hang in there and I'll explain later. At the beginning of the film, you get a feeling like Thor is kind of like developing feelings for Christian, but then as the movie progresses, you find out that it's Christian who is secretly in love with Thor, while Thor is kind of crushing on Beth. Yeah, he's crushing on Beth, the girl that I showed you earlier. And Hannah likes Christian, but Christian doesn't like her. Thor lives with two sisters. He's like the main protagonist right here. And they're always like goofing around, making fun of him. And he spends time looking at himself in the mirror, waiting for like facial hair to grow, armpit hair, like, pubic region, and all these things that you'd expect around that age. Christian loves spending time with Thor. They both do, but they get bullied for that, because even the mom at one point starts asking, so what's the deal with you and Christian? Do you guys have girlfriends? And Thor just says no. Christian, his father, is so homophobic. He already beat another guy up because they suspect that he was gay or something like that, but he just doesn't tolerate anything like that. He's a very very aggressive person. He beats his wife, he beats his kid for any wrongdoings that he commits. For example, the girls offer them a little trip so they could camp out in the mountains, and they say just take the horses from this guy's ranch, because the two kids work for this guy. And at first they were like, nah, I don't know if we should do it, but they end up doing it. And then the guy calls Christian's dad, and they go up there with them, and he beats them. Well, Christian's dad beats him in front of everybody, and it's very, very sad scene. And they were just having fun, they didn't intend to steal the horses. Obviously it was wrong to take them without permission, but let me get to the point. There are like older kids that make fun of them, like I said, it gets to a point where Thor starts to realize that Christian is like too fond of him, like just too much into him. So he decides to just keep his distance. He doesn't want to see him, at least for a day. He goes over to Beth's house and they have sex for the first time. And while all of this is going on, Christian attempts suicide. Obviously, when Thor finds out, he's very heartbroken, and it's just crazy. He's so sad. I think he gets sick. He doesn't want to leave his house. Eventually he does, and he finds a way to sneak into Christian's room, where he's right there like he can't even move, of how hurt he was. I believe he shot himself, but I'm not sure. And the movie just stands with him kissing him goodbye and telling him that he will go visit him to this other town where his mom is going to move, because she plans on divorcing his father after what happened. And that's how the movie ends. I am not doing the film any justice. Like I usually say, I just don't. But this movie is just so good. You guys have to give it a try despite my terrible review. Let me tell you a bit more in case you already watched it. My ideas on the film. Like I said, realism. Here is just the depiction of everyday life for someone their age. Is just so real, so authentic. Like the games that they play with the girls and with the other kids, and the name calling, and the way that they did it. I don't know if I saw like the bonus features here, or I just saw interviews on YouTube about the film a while ago. But these kids were not like trained actors. They didn't have a lot of acting experience. They were actually given acting classes weeks prior to the shoot, and they were amazing. I think that's that ingredient that a lot of foreign films have that in America we seldom times see, is like just fresh actors, people that obviously have a talent, that have a love for this, but that are not necessarily overtrained. Because I feel like a lot of people might say there's no such thing as overtraining. I think there is, just like there is in sports and school, academics and everything. I believe that exists in acting as well. And these kids, they look like real kids, like just, and it's not in a bad way at all, because they act so well. Like I cannot understand why they wouldn't win an Academy Award, because it's just that good. You have to watch it for yourself. You'll realize how fantastic everybody is in this movie. So real. Every feeling. Let me name a few things. When Thor starts to realize that Christian has feelings for him, and Christian notices that he doesn't want to hang out with him, he stops him. And Thor tells him, just stop being weird, then everything will be okay. Then everything will be alright. And wait, let me get comfortable, because my feet hurt. My legs are kind of... Okay, sorry about that. And Christian just stands there with a look in his face, and something that I've heard before as well, almost word for word. It's like, if you wouldn't do this, then this wouldn't happen to you. Like, you just have to change, and I just be like everybody else, so that nobody says anything to you. So that really resonated with me. And the reaction that I got from Christian, I feel it was my own reaction as well. And they're like trying to be something that they're not, they're like pretending to be tough, and they Thor wants to go out with the girls, and then Christian doesn't really know how to tell him that sure, he likes having fun, but he likes him, he doesn't like the other people. And the reality of life is that you grow older and you have your best friend, the one that you spend all your time with, but you're going to have differences. And it's very the differences are even more prominent when you have different sexual orientations. You could imagine, right? Like, I mean, I don't even know what to say, but it's just insane. There's a point in the movie when Christian's dad feels like they're spending too much time together, like, you know, there's something weird going on between them, because they were having a party. Thor's older sisters were having a party at their house, and then Thor and Christian and Beth and Hannah attended, and one of the big bullies found a painting that his sister, who wants to be an artist, who's a very good artist actually, she painted of them shirtless, and it's like a very artistic photo. But imagine if like they find a photo of them together and they were wearing makeup and everything. His dad found out, so he takes them to, I forgot what it's called, but where they put like some type of like protective gear on you, and you mountain climbing. But he was actually going down, descending instead of going up, because he was supposed to collect eagle eggs or something like that. The point is, the father did that so he could prove that they were manly, or like make them manly and not afraid. And at one point, Thor almost slips, and just imagine there wouldn't have been anything left of him. So they bring him up, and he rushes to Christian's arms, and they hug for like 30 full, complete, uninterrupted seconds. And the dad is just like, wow. Yeah, there are like so many scenes. Like I said, I'm forgetting them right now because this is I think this is a like 2-hour movie, but it's I don't necessarily have the words to tell you how real this movie is, at least to me. Everything, and it's so beautiful, and it just takes you right into their world. He has so many problems, and it's like, now that I'm an adult, if I watch this movie, it brings me right back to my problems, my teenage problems, like right back there. And most people might say, well, that's horrible. Not for me. I think it's therapeutic, and it's fun because I know that it's a movie, you know. But my point is that it's just so effective. Every feeling that they have, every reaction, like they go over, a kid goes to the other kid's house and it's like, hey, like wait for me outside because the other one's embarrassed, and then the other one gets caught like trying to masturbate, and then the sisters just run in and just bringing everything everything back. And Thor's mom is a very promiscuous woman. The kids are having a lot of trouble, like making her understand that that the town is just talking trash about her all the time and is bringing a bad reputation to their home. And everybody has little problems of their own, and sometimes they take out their frustrations. That's a very, very important theme. Something that is like, you don't see it often in movies anymore, is that around that age, especially when you have a problem, you don't know how to warn somebody beforehand that you have this problem, that you have this emotion within you, so that they should either keep their distance, maybe, give you some space, give you time to think. You don't know how to say that. Well, most people around like those years don't really know how to do that. And so you just explode. Somebody goes over and like, let's play something, like, hey, shut up. And like everything gets out of hand. You don't know when to stop. You don't know what's too little. You don't know what's too much. You do what you can to please your parents, but they're not satisfied. You feel like they're not paying attention to you, or they're not appreciating anything that you do. And you could see it a lot with Thor and his mom. You feel that your parents don't listen to you. You don't even want to try. Like Christian, sometimes your parents don't let you go out. Like Beth's dad. An infinity amount of reasons. This movie, the director, Guðmundur, Arnar. Okay, you just read it. Oh, everybody. Round of applause, because this movie is too good. It has hints of Closet Monster, which I also reviewed. It's one of the most watched reviews of mine in this channel. It has hints of Brokeback Mountain, like child version. Obviously, according to their age, it's not like so blown out. It has hints of Suicide Room. It has hints of The Man in the Moon. It's just a mixture, but you don't feel like you're watching a lot of things that were already done before. It feels fresh. It feels completely new, and frankly, I don't remember how I stumbled upon this movie, but I'm so glad that I did. I think everybody should watch. Let me read some of the reviews that some of the professionals wrote. Richly atmospheric with enough serenity and sensitivity to soften stonier hearts. True. 100% true. Variety said that. Screen International says affecting as well as perceptive in how it intimately depicts a blossoming of youth. Just the right amount of confidence, compassion, and clear-eyed style. Also true. A well-acted, visually atmospheric debut. The Hollywood Reporter. And the list goes on. This, I'm sure it won a lot of awards, and it should have won even more, because Heartstone is one of the best films out there in its genre. It's amazing. You don't, like I said, I'm not saying anything smart, because literally there are so many details. I could go like scene by scene and say, yeah, they reacted this way. Awesome. Yeah, that's what I would have done. Or, that's perfect. That's so believable for every scene. So I can't just sit here and just go by scene by scene by scene, because I'll never end. The whole movie is amazing. Hands down, 100%. Great movie. I give it a rating of 10 out of 10 in its category, and would highly recommend it to anyone interested in it. Thank you for watching.